Hi, Joyce here. In this video, I want to talk about relative and absolute cell addresses and explain what they mean and show you how to use them. What I have in this sheet, I have 5 different items. For each item, I have a wholesale cost. Up in C1, I have a markup value, and I'm going to use this markup value to calculate my retail price. I've already put in the formula for the first item. So in this formula, as you can see up on the formula bar, I am multiplying the contents of B4 times the contents of C1. Frequently, when we create a formula in Excel, we want to copy it down to other identical rows or columns, so we don't have to type in the formula over and over again. So I'm going to copy it down. I'm going to use the autofill handle here. For those of you who are not familiar with the autofill handle, if you look on the cell pointer in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see a little tiny square, and when I put my mouse pointer on it, I get a skinny plus sign. This is your autofill handle, and autofill is copy, but with some intelligence attached to it. So I'm on the autofill handle. I'm just going to click and drag to copy that formula down. And it looks like I have a problem here. So what happened? I'm going to go back to C4, and we're going to take a look at our formula up here. When you copy a formula down, if you have relative cell addresses, which is indeed what I have here, when I copy this formula down, the row number for each cell address is going to increase by 1 for each row that I copy it down. If you copy a formula across columns, once again, if the formula contains relative cell addresses, those addresses, the letter will increase by 1 for each column you copy it across. So in this case, when we copied it down to C5, the B4 changed to a B5, which is exactly what we wanted to happen. When we copied it down, the C1 changed to a C2. And that's a bit of a problem since we have nothing in C2. Actually, we don't want that C1 to change when we copy it down. Therefore, we need to make it absolute. So a relative cell address will change as you copy it down rows or across columns. An absolute cell address will not change when it's copied. To make the C1 absolute, all I have to do is click somewhere on the cell address and press F4. F4 puts a $sign in front of the C and a $sign in front of the 1. You can type the $signs yourself. You don't have to use the F4, just a little faster if you do use the F4. So now the B4 is a relative cell address and the C1 is an absolute cell address. The B4, because it's relative, will change as we copy it down rows. The C1 will not change because it is absolute. So I'm just going to press the Enter key to finish off that formula. I'm going to grab the autofill and I'm going to drag it down. And everything is as I want it to be. So if I click in cell C5, you will see that B4 changed to a B5, but the C1 did not change, and so forth. So that is the difference between a relative cell address and an absolute cell address. This is something that you need to know if you're working with formulas in Excel. You may have to make a relative cell address absolute, and sometimes Excel will make a cell address absolute. So you have to understand what is going on. I hope you enjoyed this video. Before you go, I just want to mention that you will see a button that is popped up on the screen, and I would love to send you a copy of some of my very best shortcuts and tips, and all you have to do is click on that button to receive your copy. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video.